All right, let's get into it. Today, we are tackling the final challenge of the AP History exam, the long essay question, or LEQ. We're going to break down the complete strategy you need to absolutely conquer it, point by point.
Seriously, think of it like this. You're in the fourth quarter. You're at the end of this marathon of an exam. It comes last, after you've already done multiple choice, short answers, and the DBQ. This is where you gotta dig deep and show them what you're made of.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why the LEQ is such a big deal. Then, we'll look at the anatomy of the thing, what to expect. After that, we dive into a 3-step strategy, deconstructing the prompt, planning your attack, and writing to win. And stick around, because we're even gonna cover how to snag that super tricky complexity point.
Okay, so why do I call the LEQ the final boss? Well, it's because its weight on your final score is huge, especially when you consider when you have to write it.
Yeah, you heard that right, 15%. This one single essay is a massive chunk of your total AP exam score. So, you can't just phone it in. And to top it off, you've got a recommended 40 minutes to get it done. 40! That is not a lot of time, which means having a rock-solid, efficient strategy isn't just nice, it's absolutely crucial.
Let's be real for a second. By the time you get to the LEQ, your hand is cramping, your brain feels like mush. You've been at this for hours. But here's the thing, pushing through that wall, that exhaustion, is what separates a good score from a great one. This is your moment.
So what does this final boss actually look like? To beat it, you first gotta know what you're up against. Let's break down exactly what you're gonna see on the page come exam day.
Okay, here's some good news. The best part about the LEQ, honestly, is that you get a choice. You'll see 3 different prompts, and each one focuses on a different historical period. You only have to pick one. This is a huge strategic advantage, so choose the one you feel most confident about. Now, this is super important. You have to understand the key difference between the LEQ and its cousin, the DBQ. With the document-based question, they literally hand you the evidence in 7 documents. But with the long essay question, 0 documents, zip, nada.
And that right there, that is the central challenge. Every single piece of specific historical evidence you use to support your argument has to come from right up here. You gotta crack open those brain folds. It's a true test of everything you've learned all year long.
All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the strategy. Step 1, before you even think about writing a sentence, you have to dissect the prompt. I mean, really tear it apart. If you misunderstand what it's asking, it doesn't matter how amazing your writing is. You just can't get the points. So here's what you're gonna do. You need to physically take your pen and mark up the prompt. You're looking for 3 things. First, what's the time period it's boxing you into? Second, what are the specific topics or categories it wants you to address? And third, what's the historical thinking skill it's asking for? Are you explaining causation, making a comparison? This is your roadmap for the whole essay. All right, prompt deconstructed. Now what? You need a plan. Seriously, do not just start writing. I promise you, taking just 5 minutes to organize your thoughts will save you so much grief and will dramatically increase your score. Here's a super simple, super effective plan. 3 steps. First, just do a quick brain dump. Write down all the specific evidence you can think of that relates to the prompt. Second, start grouping that evidence. Think about how it could form 2, maybe 3 body paragraphs. And then, third, based on those paragraph ideas, you draft your thesis.
Okay, the plan is in place. Now, we write.
But remember, the goal isn't just to write a good essay. The goal is to write an essay that earns every single possible point on that official scoring rubric. So let's look at how you get those points. So the LEQ is scored out of 6 points, right? It's pretty straightforward. You can get 1 point for your thesis, 1 for contextualization, 2 whole points for evidence, and another 2 for analysis and reasoning. Our entire strategy is designed to make sure you check off every one of these boxes. Let's start with the thesis, probably the single most important sentence in your whole essay. It's not enough to just restate the prompt. You have to make a specific, arguable claim that answers the why or the how. That's your line of reasoning. So instead of a weak thesis like industrialization had effects, you'd argue how it created new social classes and led to new economic dependencies. See the difference? That's a real argument. Next up, contextualization. Think of this as setting the stage for your argument.
It goes in your introduction right before your thesis. You're basically painting the bigger picture, what was going on in the world or that region that led up to the events of the prompt. It helps the reader understand where your argument is coming from. All right, the bulk of your essay, your body paragraphs, this is where you rack up those evidence and analysis points. You need to provide at least 2 specific pieces of historical evidence. But, and this is the key, you can't just name drop a person or an event. You have to explicitly explain how that evidence proves the argument you made back in your thesis. Connect the dots for the reader. Okay, so that's the first 5 points, but there's a 6th point, a kind of bonus point that can take your score from good to truly great. It's the complexity point, and yeah, it's famously tough to get. So let's figure out how to unlock it. Let's look at the official language from the College Board here. It's all about demonstrating a complex understanding. This means going beyond the basics. It's about showing that you get the nuances, the contradictions, the messy parts of history. So how do you actually do that? Well, you've got a few options. You could make a really smart connection to a totally different time period, or you could use a ton of evidence, like 4 or more pieces, to build a really nuanced, multi-layered argument. Or you could explain multiple causes of something, or even explore both the causes and its effects. The key is to show you're thinking on a deeper level. So there you have it. That's the blueprint, the game plan for mastering the LEQ. You have the strategy, you know the rubric inside and out, and you even know how to reach for that top-tier complexity score. The only question left is, when you open that test booklet, which path will you take? You're in the driver's seat. Now go earn those points.